Okay, we're going to dive right in. This is the three growth levers that scale service businesses to seven figures without hiring a massive team. Now, I'm Charles. I'm the owner of Become the Authority, and we've helped numerous trades businesses scale up to seven figures and beyond using our different systems, growth strategies, and everything in between. So, if you're stuck between 300K per year and 500K per year, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to learn the growth levers that you need to pull in order to start seeing that growth and to start getting past that plateau that you're at, right? Because people get stuck at 300K to 500K per year for a couple different reasons, right? First is that they're wearing every single hat. You're going to be quoting jobs, you're managing your crew, you're answering the phones, you're chasing leads, and you're performing the service. It's exhausting and it's also unsustainable. Okay. Now, if you don't have any predictable lead flow, that's also unsustainable because one week you could be slammed with referrals and everything is closing, and then the next is absolute crickets, but you might still need to make payroll or something, right? So you aren't even able to hire and retain good talent because your work is not consistent and people aren't going to stick around where they aren't sure if they're going to get paid this week or next week, right? And then the other issue here is that there's no sales infrastructure. Now, what I mean by that is your sales team should be empowered. You should be empowered if you're doing sales, meaning that you should, instead of just saving numbers in your cell phone and hoping and praying to God these people text you back, you should be saving them inside of a CRM system that automatically texts them, sends them emails on occasion, just drops them lines and reminds them that you exist, right? If you're not doing that, then you're going to be losing business to businesses that are. It's just that simple. Now, the reason for that is because the game has changed. Okay. Growth is going to come from systems, not hustle. Okay. See, the top contractors and the people that we work with aren't just chasing growth, right? They're systematizing it. And if you're trying to grow by just working more hours, chasing more leads, doing everything manually, it's just a grind. It really doesn't scale. And the reason you're probably watching this webinar right now is because you know that to be the truth. You've been running around like a crazy person and have not been able to break past that plateau. And the reason why is because there's no predictability. Okay. You don't have a repeatable system inside of your business. So revenue still feels random. One good month doesn't guarantee the next, and that uncertainty is going to kill growth momentum. Now, the new standard, okay, is system driven growth. Smart operators like you guys, because you're watching this, right? Smart operators like you guys are relying on funnels, automations, and scheduling tools to keep jobs flowing. It's not about doing more, it's about doing things better. So let's get into the growth levers. First growth lever you want to pull is you want to control your lead flow. Okay. So you want to use some strategic ads that create predictability. Okay. I wouldn't suggest things like Angie's List or Home Advisor or anything like that because you could generate these leads for yourself if you set up the systems correctly. And you can get tons of great paid traffic from places like Google, YouTube, or Meta ads, where you can get yourself in front of customers that are in your local area and just showcase what you do and give them an opportunity to contact you, right? See, geo targeted campaigns are going to attract better clients. So if you set up your advertising the right way, you can target the highest earning zip codes in your local area. So that way you're not doing a spray and pray approach to your marketing. Instead, you're working like a sniper, where You're just finding the absolute best high value targets and converting them. And lastly, you want to ultimately own your funnel, because if you own the funnel, that means you own the flow of everything. You're not just renting attention, and you're not sharing leads with a bunch of other people that might have gotten sold the same Home Advisor lead or the same Angie's List lead or something like that. If you control the funnel, you know that these are your leads and you can do what you want with them. Okay. And that includes converting them using automation, right? So that's growth lever number two, is that we're going to bring the leads in and then we're going to have automated systems that take them through the process of educating them, getting them on the calendar, getting you out there to give them an estimate, and then booking them on the job and then getting a review afterwards. Okay. So you need to focus on speed to lead. Okay. We from our personal experience, as well as everybody who has ever worked hard inside of this trade space, right? We know that it's usually the contractor who has the best communication that closes the deal, right? And if a person comes through your website and you take 2 business days to respond because you're doing everything on your own, you've probably lost the opportunity because they're just going to move on to somebody else, right? Now, you also want to let prospects book themselves on your calendar. See, modern buyers really appreciate convenience, and you can set it up to where if you still want to have an appointment setter, have one, but you want to give people the option to just hop on your calendar for an estimate. And if they can schedule with you day or night, you're going to be able to get more jobs on your calendar without having a massive admin staff. Okay. And ultimately, in doing that, you remove bottlenecks and increase close rates, right? You don't have to worry about, oh my God, did I call these people and get them on the calendar? Or did my assistant call this person and get them on the calendar? No. Oh, I got to try and catch up with this person. And by the time you get to them, they're like, we're not interested in working with someone that doesn't communicate well, right? But if you give them the ability to book their own estimate appointment, things move just a lot smoother and they feel like your business is more professional just because of how you set it up for them to work with you, right? And then last lever that you want to pull is automating your follow up until you get a yes or a no. Now, before we got started with this marketing agency, I had a 10-year career working in sales, as well as managing sales teams. And what I want to tell you is that most sales are lost in the follow up gap. Okay. Customers are not buying on the first touch all the time, and that's fine. But I think people underestimate how many touches it might actually take before a customer exchanges money with you. And in some cases, it could take as many as 5 or 6 touches. Just made then, and that touch could be a text message, it could be an email, it could be a phone call, but it might take anywhere from 5 to 6 touches before you actually book the job or close the deal, right? So if you've got this set up manually, then it's very likely that you'll be missing opportunities because you guys are far too busy, especially if you're at that 300K to 500K mark, right? Because at that point, you're making money, right? But you aren't able to actually see it, enjoy it, or use it besides for anything besides business at the moment because you're so bogged down taking care of everything. And as a result, you're going to miss opportunities to follow up with people. You're going to miss opportunities to get folks on the calendar for installs after estimates simply because you didn't follow up with them. Okay. So by having an automated follow up system inside of your business, that is going to help you close more deals, and it's going to save you a whole lot of headache because now you know that your customers are consistently getting the follow up that they need, and you're constantly reminding people that you exist. That's hugely important in this digital age where everybody is fighting for your attention. It's just important to get in there every once in a while and remind them, hey, we're still here, we're still around, we still have your estimate. Are you ready to do this project? Now, when you stack things like traffic, conversion, and follow up, you build a scalable growth engine, right? Because with predictable leads means consistent cash flow, right? If you have a good closing process, and if you're at 300 to 500K per year, that means that you do know how to sell, you do know how to fulfill the jobs. But if you add in lead generation that is not random, then you can plan your schedule better. You can plan your hiring better. You can plan your growth better because now you know that you have a consistent amount of leads coming through every single month, and you know how many of those leads tend to turn into appointments and how many of those appointments tend to turn into sales. So once you add predictability to things, it makes your cash flow more consistent, right? Then when you stack automation inside of it, that creates freedom and focus because you're stop spending your days and nights chasing leads or just trying to quote jobs manually, and you can start focusing on the business instead of running around inside of it like an employee. Now, when you systematize your follow up, and that goes hand in hand with automating it, that means you get higher close rates. And with every lead followed up with automatically, your revenue is going to go up without more pressure on your time or your team's time. And then lastly is leverage. It's a business that's going to be able to run without you. The more systems that you can put in place that remove you as a bottleneck, that remove you as a point of failure, the better that the business can grow. And it's going to allow you to build a real business, not just sort of a side hustle or something like that, right? This business is one that can grow, you can sell or you can operate it without the owner having to run around and do everything. So, those are the three growth levers that you should be pulling, right? And if you got some value out of that and you're ready to go ahead and start trying to build out your own systems, that's amazing. We appreciate you. But if you're interested in learning how we help install systems like this inside of your business, I just want you to stick around for a couple more minutes because I want to get into our unique offer that we're putting out right now called the JobFlow system. Okay. And this is our fully funded growth partnership where we partner with businesses that are doing anywhere from 300K to 500K per year and help them scale to seven figures and beyond. And we're looking for businesses not just to offer services to or anything like that. We're actually looking for businesses that we can comfortably invest our own money into. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So, before I get into that, what if you never had to pay for ads, but you still got a flood of jobs? Right? Because if you've ran ads or if you've talked to people that ran ads, you know that the costs just keep going up. Now, you need leads, you need to generate your own leads, but every year the cost of getting in front of these homeowners continues to go up, and it's harder than ever to compete without a real strategy. And then of course there's a bunch of agencies out here, but they charge these really high retainers without actually giving the results and customer service that a lot of people are expecting. Okay. In fact, a lot of these marketing agencies are just kind of closing you on a service for $4,000 and then finding somebody in India who can deliver it for $1,000. and just kind of sitting back and collecting checks without actually getting invested in the growth of your business. They don't take on any risk or share in your outcome. They just collect your retainer every month. So, what you need and what we're offering is a no risk growth engine. So, I want you to imagine a system that's filling up your calendar and handling follow up, and it doesn't cost you a dime unless it delivers results first. That's what we're talking about delivering for you here, because I want to re-emphasize this. Most home services businesses, they struggle to scale, and the reason why is because they're dependent on word of mouth. They're wasting money on low quality leads from Angie's List or Home Advisor, or there's no automation or follow-up systems, and everything is just kind of running off the iPhone and a dream. And you're better than that, and that's what we want to help you do, is recognize the potential that you have inside of you, because getting to 300 to 500k per year is no small feat, right? So it means that you are competent, and it means that you are capable. You just have some bottlenecks that you need to eliminate. And again, the game has changed, okay? You don't have to hustle harder. What you need is systematic driven growth. Okay. You need funnels, you need automations, you need scheduling tools, you need ads coming, you need ads generating leads, you need a marketing system as well as an operation system that allows you to focus on the different things that you need to do without overwhelming yourself. And that's why we created JobFlow. Okay. So JobFlow is the engine that we build for you and your home service business. And it's built to automate everything. Okay. So from the ad getting clicked to booking the estimate, our system is going to handle everything. So lead gen, follow up, scheduling, without you having to lift a finger. Now, number two, and this is hugely important, we fund the ad spend. So when you work with us, you're not going to be risking your own cash. We cover the cost of traffic, so you only pay when revenue comes in, right? So it completely eliminates risk on your part as it relates to advertising, because as I just said, advertising can get very expensive. Now, we're performance based. We're not retainer based. That means you're not just getting billed monthly. We're not just collecting your checks and moving on, right? We get paid based on the results that we generate, and it's fully installed for you. JobFlow isn't another course or a fancy piece of software that we're just going to install for you and then move on with our lives, right? We're going to be custom building your marketing system and then managing every piece of it inside of your business. And to be clear on what we actually build and manage for you, this is what you're going to get. Number one is custom built advertising campaigns, where we're launching hyper targeted campaigns using tools like Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, geofencing, and direct mail. Okay. We're going to build a strategy that is specific to your business, your services, your market, and your goal. Okay. Now, we're also going to give the clients the ability to book themselves. Okay. So, appointments will be able to book themselves. Your prospects are going to get access to your calendar after they've filled out a certain amount of qualifying information, and that's going to eliminate a lot of chasing. It's going to cut down on the amount of busy work that your admin will have to do, and all you're going to have to be concerned about is going to the book jobs on your calendar. Now, we build the follow-up systems where we're going to be tracking people down until we get a yes or a no. Maybe is where leads go to die. I will say it over and over and over again. And so many people, they are frustrated about their income level, but they have an entire list of contacts that they've never reached back out to again. I mean, think about it. How many real estate investors do we know? How many people have a home and maybe they live in an area that has storms consistently, right? Like, you don't have to think of yourself as a one-off service. You have to think of yourself as someone that is constantly available to be helpful to people. And by reminding people that you exist and following up until you get a solid yes or no answer from every lead in your system, it just opens the door for you to maximize your lead list and earn more money overall. So we build the follow-up systems that allow for that to happen. And lastly, we build the full lead and customer management system. So you get a custom CRM developed for yourself, and that includes all of the automated follow-ups. It has reminders, it has review requests built into it and everything like that. So the entire customer management side of things will be automated for the most part. And that's going to empower you and your team to be able to just function and run your business smoother and with more efficiency. Now, quickly, this is not for everybody, okay? We built this for established operators, right? We're looking for people that are already doing at least 350K per year. You might have a few crews, but the main thing is that you can fulfill work reliably. But maybe your growth has stalled because of inconsistent leads or bad systems or something like that. But if you can do the work, we can help you. Now, we're also looking for execution focused owners. You're not looking to learn how to do marketing. You don't want to DIY this thing. You want someone to run the engine while you focus on growing your business and scaling your team, right? And lastly, is you're an operator with vision. You're not just thinking about making payroll for next month. You want to build a company that you can scale to 7 figures and beyond. And that might be worth even selling to private equity one day for a large exit. Okay. So you could be like Joe here. Okay. Joe from J&D Landscapes was stuck paying $3,000 a month for a marketing agency, and we were able to earn him $325,000 in revenue in the last quarter. Okay. He's now on track to break $1 million this year. And we were essentially able to triple his income in 90 days simply by adding automation as well as strong ads on Facebook and Google, and ultimately just helping him with his content strategy and a few different other things, right? So we built a strategy completely custom built for Joe, and we were able to deliver $325,000 in revenue the last quarter, which, just kind of blew his mind a little bit. Now, we also have Mario. Now, Mario was actually paying $4,000 a month to a marketing agency, and they were pretty inconsistent, and he wasn't really even sure if he was getting ROI. And the leads were still unpredictable, and the growth was stuck. But what we did was we replaced his model, okay? We installed the JobFlow system, and we used Google local service ads, geofencing, social media marketing, automated booking systems, etc. And now he has follow-up going out like clockwork, and he was able to generate 292,000 in revenue in just one quarter. Okay. So he's now on track for his first million. Okay. What we focus on is finding people who are strong and just helping them get stronger, right? You've got the tools that you need to be $1 million business. You've got the skills, rather, right? You've got the skills and you've got $1 million service. You just need the systems and tools to help you get there. And that's what we can provide for you, right? The same way we provided it for Tom with Ohio Gutter Solutions, where Tom was paying about $2,500 a month to an overpriced SEO agency. And if you guys know anything about SEO, SEO is a little bit weird. And his ad strategy was basically non existent, and the growth was slowing to a crawl. And what we did was we focused on Google local service ads, really aggressive text message marketing campaigns, as well as postcards going out to the area. And in his last quarter, he was able to generate $247,000 in booked revenue. He wound up being booked out for the next 4 months, actually. So he had to enter emergency hiring mode, okay, because he had so much job volume and he was pushing people out further and further as far as when he would be able to replace these people's gutters. And it got to a point where he just said, I have to start hiring more people because trying to push people multiple months out is insane. So these systems work. These systems work so well that it might actually catch you by surprise, and you'll realize, wow, there's a lot of things that I need to do in order to grow my business. And that's why it's great to partner with somebody like us, because we can take this off of your plate so you can focus on the other parts of your business, like hiring the right teams and building the correct systems hand in hand with an automations and systems builder like ourselves. So again, what you get is a fully custom built marketing system that's tailored to your market and services, plus in-house management. You're going to have your campaigns launched using tools like Google, Meta, YouTube, geofencing, and automated postcard campaigns. We're going to develop an automated booking system for you so prospects can schedule jobs themselves. No more crazy back and forth all the time. We'll develop a full follow-up system that contacts every lead until they book or say no, right? We'll develop a centralized CRM for you so you can track every lead, job, and revenue dollar. And lastly, we're going to give you strategic growth support around things like pricing, hiring, and profitability, because we're invested in the growth of your business, right? If we're putting our own cash up, we want to see your business grow. So what makes this different is we fund the advertising, period. Something that we noticed is that contractors are getting crushed trying to front $3,000 to $10,000 per month on ads before seeing results, right? But with JobFlow, you don't pay any money for leads until they book jobs. We take on the ad spend risk so you can scale confidently without draining your cash flow. So the investment to work with us is very simple. It's a $12,000 one-time systems build out, 25% of the revenue that our system generates, and a 10% equity stake in your company. You're only going to pay from what we produce, and we're going to be putting real money on the line to grow with you. So if you're still wondering if this is right for you, I just want to go over a couple things. If you already have a marketing person, that's fine. A lot of people have internal teams that focus on design or branding. What we're focusing on is the actual lead engine, the systems behind converting those leads, getting them in the door, and everything in between. So you can keep your person. Let us focus on driving growth. Now, we ask for equity because we're investing real time, capital, and infrastructure into the growth of your business. And equity is going to align us for long term success. We want to build something worth selling just like you do. And if you're curious how much we're really spending on ads, it depends on the marketplace, but we're typically fronting anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per month in ad spend. And it really just depends on your performance as a business owner, and as well as your market and your overall goals. Okay. But at the end of the day, that's real money that's coming out of our pocket, and you don't pay it back directly. We're only going to earn from the results that it produces. Okay. Now, as far as how fast you begin to see results, the system is usually fully live within 21 days of onboarding, and most partners start getting leads in the first week of the launch. And then we're scaling, optimizing, and driving more ROI from there. So the long-term goal is to help you scale past seven figures with systems that make your business valuable. So if you've ever thought, what am I going to do when I think about retirement, right? A lot of people, they get to a point where they want to sell their business and they want to walk away, but then they find out that people aren't interested in buying their business because it's not really a business. It's really more like you're an independent contractor or you're a side hustler in the eyes of some people because everything is focused on you. You're still handling everything. And if you left the business, there would be no business, right? So by developing the systems inside of your business and giving your business infrastructure, it makes your business that much more attractive to private equity, private buyers, etc. And that's going to allow you to prepare for a strong exit where you can retire and sell your business for a large amount of cash. Sounds great to me. So, we're going to be helping you build an asset, not just a hustle. Okay. So, just to recap, your investment is only a $12,000 one time systems build out, 25% of revenue the system generates, and a 10% equity stake in your company. And again, you only pay from what we produce, and we're putting real money on the line to help you grow. So let's build your machine. We're not teaching, we're not coaching, we're building, we're funding ads, and we only get paid when it works. And this isn't for everyone. Okay. We only take 4 businesses a month because we're focused on developing real partnerships. I'm not just trying to get everyone and their mom to give me a few $1,000s per month and hope that turns into something. I'm looking to partner with real businesses that have real vision and we can grow and take things to the next level. So if you're interested in learning more about the details of what it's like to work with us, if we can help you, what we can do for you, and everything in between, there should be a link popping up here shortly, or there might be something down in the description. It just depends on where you're watching this. Go ahead and click that link. Go ahead and apply, and then you'll be able to book your call with us. Okay. And if you're a fit, we'll be able to give you an exact roadmap to scale and start building with you. So it was great to talk to you guys. I hope you learned something. I've been Charles. Have a great one.